Well, Seth mentions too about scary stuff in wrestling. He says, "I hate spooky stuff in wrestling. Everyone just does a bridge and it looks like and looks at you, but that's not scary." So he means the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, we talked about this before about like supernatural stuff, and I think if I remember correctly, you said it didn't make sense to you back then, but you kind of understand it from a business standpoint now, like Undertaker stuff, or I thought it was stupid, and we talked about this, like when Kane lit you on fire, tried to light you on fire, kidnapped you or whatever, and that was kind of dumb. But do you think like having like a cult kind of thing, kind of like Kevin Sullivan did with the Varsity Club? Or maybe if they go in that route, could something like this Wyatt Six work? Do you think in the scheme of wrestling today?
Do they have superpowers?
That has not been no. As at this moment, no. So, and I think the reports are that that's not part of the plan. Is they're not going to have superpowers. It's just
Hmm.
going to be like they're. It might seem like they're carrying on Bray Wyatt's legacy and maybe attacking people. And
I feel more like, if it's about the character, then I can see it being cool. I can see
yeah,
it fitting. I remember way back, even before I started watching wrestling, like the Samoans would like have like a heart and rip it open. They're eating a live heart or something, and it's like it's gimmick. It's cool for the character, and I could see like Boogeyman, or like he's spooky, he is scary. I could see him, or maybe even Papa Shango, like saying that they're casting a spell on you, as long as you don't have to sell it and like pass out in the ring or act like like that's a little too much for me. We've all seen on Instagram the shitty little indie shows where somebody uses the force and they just go and the person goes and then they like pick him up and choke slam him without even touching him, and the guy just jumps up and lands on his back. Obviously, that is on the other line of credibility from everything that I believe in and that I work for. So that's a bit much, but I think it's a fine line, and you got to be careful with it. And I think in real life there could be some supernatural. So why not?
yeah, it is a really fine line too. If you make things kind of make sense from your what you build around in wrestling, like okay, this does make sense in this context and stuff like that. People bought into the Undertaker, after the
Right.
and stuff. But
Say
like,
say somebody is getting advice from their spiritual deceased loved one, their dad or their manager, or someone that died or whatever, and you can see them talking, and they're like, "I understand." And it's a one-way conversation. Some of the stuff could be left up to interpretation, could be taken as supernatural at the same time, and not blow the credibility of what we're doing. So that's kind of where I stand on it.
yeah, I'm with you on that, and I think you make the great point too about it. Like if you make those people accessible and like have that connection kind of thing, where it's like it's more about the person behind the mask because they're all wearing masks. I think, and there are all the wrestlers are basically ones we're already familiar with behind these masks. So it's like they're going to take those masks off and wrestle. If you make those kind of the big trajectory of it, and not like they're playing this monster of some sort that has all these powers, then you're going to get taken out. And I like the aspect of it could potentially be something like a Charles Manson cult thing that's going around and things like that.
I think when it comes to selling superpowers, that's always going to be asking a lot in the world of wrestling. Not if you're in an action movie, but in wrestling, it's a bit much to ask people to buy.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
may give you a heart attack, and then yeah, you're gonna get booed out of the building.
exactly.